Hey everyone, welcome back to Patriot Ridge. The good and bad and all of it. So great news is the well is done. They got us down to 220 feet. We have an average flow rate of about 6 gallons per minute. And with the depth that we're at, gives us a reservoir of about 260 gallons of water to pull from and a flow rate to refill at 6 gallons a minute. Not going to knock that. That's pretty daggone good. At our elevation, he definitely had to go deeper than what was originally thought. I think he originally hit water at about 90 feet and then took it on down to 141. Somewhere around 117, what he described as a potential crack is what may be slowing our flow rate down. So he took it on down to 220 and gave us that 260 gallon reservoir there below it. So everything on this is done, except now all we got to do is we got to run electric up to the building, come off of that, and then bring the electric down to here. They will come and install the pump. It'll be a submersible pump, and it'll go down to about 10 feet from the bottom of the well, and then there'll also be a pressure tank in that well. That's something new, I guess. I'm not familiar with it, but it saves me having to put an external pressure tank out here, and everything else, it all goes down in the well. So good to go. The USDA, because we went below or deeper than 125 feet they originally said, they did have to do like an emergency re-auth up to 195 feet, because that's all the money that they said that they had to give us to go that deep. That's fine, because it was $17 a foot after that. So from 195 to 220 feet, we're going to cover $17 a foot from there. So this, to me, and I know a lot of people might think that I'm crazy, because you live in a modern log home, you've got municipal water, you've got natural gas, you got a wood stove. Hey, listen, this to me, this is freedom, and I'll tell you why. Because if this turns out to be good potable water, which is specifically what we're looking for after all of the requirements for the USDA is done, if it's good quality potable water, or we can filter it out easily enough to make it good and potable, this is going to be my main water source for our own consumption up here. This is going to be our main water source for our animals, for our vegetation, for irrigation and everything. This gets us off of municipal water. This gets chlorine and fluoride and pharmaceuticals out of my water. And I'll tell you why that's happening. Because the only thing above me is the mountain and God. So there's nothing up this high to contaminate us. But of course, we do have to go through the routine testing and everything to make sure it is drinkable. Now, there is bad news to report. And I've been kind of back and forth with it, but our one female pig, Peppa, where a few weeks ago, or maybe even a month or so, a month and a half ago, where she got a little aggressive and humpy and everything. We thought maybe it was false heat because of her pregnancy, and she's showed no signs or symptoms of it since then. Last couple days she started doing it again. Now she should, by our calendar, she should be due by next Wednesday. Her teats so they're obviously a little bit longer. She hasn't developed a milk line or the sacs or anything yet. But the last couple of days she's been a little bit more grumpy. So I thought, well, she's due in a week. What woman wouldn't be grumpy if you're going to have a baby in a week, or upwards of 14 for her if that was potential. So today we come out and was out here and heard a ruckus up in the woods, and she's in standing heat. Boris was doing his duty, and there was no question Boris was doing his duty. And by all that I can find out, pigs ain't going to do that unless they're not pregnant. So if they're pregnant, they're not going to engage in that activity. So evidently she may have been pregnant and lost it somewhere along the way, and just maybe didn't cycle for a while. I don't know, but I'm out here with these pigs every day, and I'm not out here all day every day, but I see these pigs physically every day, and I've seen nothing to show where she could have potentially had a miscarriage. I've seen nothing to show that she, had any issues at all. And then today, right up here, Boris was doing his duty, and it's pretty evident that she is not bred, and don't know if she's bred now. But we're going to go ahead and we're planning on moving both of the girls this Saturday over to the farrowing pen. Just in the off chance that the potential was there, we're going to move her over as well. The other female, Coke, we know she's pregnant. There's no doubt that big old girl's pregnant. She's forming a milk line. She's really starting to show, and she's actually doing 2 weeks. So, well, she would be doing 3 weeks, so 2 weeks after Peppa would have been due. But they all must be up in the woods. So, if she bred this time and is successful and carries it, it'll be mid-October for her farrowing. And October is not terrible around here. So later than I definitely wanted, but October is not terrible around here. All right, so we finished the new farrowing paddock up to right here. And this is where the last panel will come across and tie in here. Now, the reason we haven't put that last panel in yet, and we do have electric run, these are just extra sticking up here. We do have the electric run around the inside. It is not hooked up yet, is because we have to open this up to the gate to get the girls moved across. Once we do that and get them in here, then I'll put this panel in and finish out the electric. Hi, Pee-wee. How you doing, buddy? Oh, Peggy Pig. So the other really good news is we have kicked butt over the last couple days, and we got the farrowing sheds done. Now, I had a bunch of old rough cut lumber that was given to me, and I made use of it. And these are the farrowing pens, or farrowing sheds rather. Let me get in here. Okay, simple design, simple like lean-to type design. 8 feet wide, 6 feet deep. Put galvanized metal on the roof. Now, they're not completely done yet, but they are for the most part done. I'm going to close in the back portion here. So this is the guard bar, or whatever they call it, a farrowing bar. So the piglets, and it's 3 inches up off of a 2x6. So that gives the piglets room to get back under there away from mom, so mom doesn't roll on them. Definitely give mom, since we got monstrous pigs anyway, plenty of room to get in here. I will close in this back corner on both sides. I may even put a board up here just to kind of come down a little bit lower. But these pigs are daggone near, well, they're waist high on me, and I'm 6 foot tall. So I want to give them plenty of room to get in there. But we got this one built yesterday evening, and we got this one built this evening. And then yesterday evening, I had to run and go get the metal for the roof. I was going to use PVC plastic sheets, but they didn't have the size that I needed. And these were much, much less expensive. So the farrowing huts are done. Mine is closing in just the back portions of them and then coming and throwing some hay in a little bit, but they are done. So we've really, really made progress in the last few days. And let me tell you, I've been sleeping really good at night because we've been busting our butts to get this done. So again, 8 feet wide, 6, or is that right? Yeah, 8 feet wide, 6 feet deep. The front posts are 5 feet tall, just a little overkill. Okay, so 5 feet tall on the front, and then just down to a tip there at the end. And plenty of room for piglets to get back in there to get away from mama. Plenty of room for mama. And like I said, I'll close in the sides here just up so far, but make sure that the piglets are closed in the back. Pee-wee's definitely enjoying all the greenery here, even though he had access to it previously. He's been coming in here and eating all the bunch of grass and stuff. And all this is now opened up. This is where the original, you can see where the original pen was. Then we just moved everything down and we got that done. And honest to goodness, we got this pen done, this whole farrowing pen done in just a few hours. And there was 3 of us working on it, so it wasn't bad at all. We knocked it out pretty quick. Just had to set a few more posts and just went ahead and threw the panels in. So I'm very happy with the progress that we've been making over the last few days. You coming over looking for love again, are you? Huh? All right, so yes, farrowing pen done. I'll finish out these just in the next day or so. Just like I said, closing in the back ends and the sides a little bit, just up so far. And then the last thing we need to do, once we do get the pigs moved over, is put that last panel in, tie the electric in, and then I'll put the gate on there later on. So from the farrowing pen here, You see the chicken houses out there. We got them turned, going back the other way now. This Canadian smoke is not near as bad today as it was yesterday. It was ungodly here yesterday. While I was outside, I'll be honest with you, from 4 o'clock yesterday until about 10 o'clock last night, I was outside working. And I went in last night and I had such a headache. My sinuses were all jacked up, and just, it felt like I'd been in a smoky bar, like way back in the early days of my younger youth. Pretty much for the entire day is what it felt like. So that smoke was pretty bad. I can only imagine what it was like. I mean, here we are in West Virginia. I can only imagine what it's like for the people at Ground Zero in Canada and around the areas of those forest fires, because that's just crazy. All right, so the next job is, of course, running electric. We're going to do that next week. I've already got the trenching machine reserved. I'm going to pick it up next Friday because of the holidays and stuff like that. So the guy, it's actually in the shop for repairs right now. They're expecting to get it back Monday, but it won't be available Tuesday. And then, of course, Wednesday, Thursday, and I can't do anything until the weekend anyway. So I'm going to be picking it up Friday. And I'm pretty confident we can get it all done pretty much one day. At least get it ran, buried, and up in the building, and get the panel hooked up and everything. But we'll see. We should be able to get it done in a day. All right. I'm going in. I need a shower. So, as always, get and stay prepared, stay free, and God bless y'all.